joyous is it not to have to bring home any work? Who wants to work for an employer when they could work for themselves? What would be sustainable is if we all grew our own garden and cooked our own meals and took care of our own.
Hey everybody, welcome to another Punk Perspectives here. Today I got a very, very cool one that I'm very excited about. So from the band Reagan Youth, super influential, we have Madame St.Beatrice, who was the who's worked with the band a lot and was the widow of Paul Cripple. If you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Madame St.Beatrice. I've been involved with Paul. I was with Paul for nearly 20 years. We made music together, literally.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Yeah, and I just want to make sure I'm getting. I always want to say Madame. It's Madam.
It's Madame.
Madame St. Beatrice.
Yes.
Okay. See, you don't really hear it that often.
I wasn't
right?
going to correct you, but it's yeah.
Thank you.
It's
So please do. And so I want to kind of talk about that. So let's just dive right into that iota, I guess, a bit. I guess what was like your first, do you remember when you first heard about the band Reagan Youth, and what was your first memories of just hearing the band?
Well, it started when I was getting into the punk rock scene. I remember this was back when MySpace was a thing. Remember that?
I do.
I remember going on to this girl's page. Remember when there was music, you could add music onto your page and you could doll it up. Well, someone I knew had a Reagan Youth song added onto her page. Okay. And that's how I was introduced, to be honest with you. And I forgot what song it was, but I immediately loved it. I was just like, what the fuck is this? This sounds really good. Oh my God. And they reformed. Mm-hmm. I remember a bunch of punk kids would tell me Reagan Youth is playing at the park. I don't know when, but they're playing. And I'm like, that's cool. Mind you, I just knew that one song. That I forgot what song it was, but that one song I heard on MySpace, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like I went to see them at Tompkins Square Park. It's a park in the Lower East Side. It's famous for a lot of OG punk, OG New York hardcore bands.
Yeah, you're good. No, Tompkins Park. I know. Yeah, lots of
It's well known for the place where a lot of OG New York hardcore bands to play. Mm. And it's been going on for decades, since the 80s, I believe.
Yeah.
And I went to go see them play, and they were amazing. Mind you, I didn't know Paul back then. I met Paul at CBGB's, by the way. Okay. Oh God. Am I going to?
No, let's segue into that. So that was going to be the next question. So I guess you answered it because I wanted to know. So when you first heard Reagan Youth, you can't remember the song. But
I forgot what song it was. I wish
Degenerated,
I could
probably. I think that's probably one of their most.
No, it wasn't Degenerated. It wasn't Degenerated. Jesus Christ, I wish I could remember. Yeah.
But you liked it, was the point.
I liked it immediately.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just like, what the hell is this? I was like, this sounds really fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like, I know, especially the Lower East Side area, Agnostic Front, Madball, right? It's been just it's known.
The list goes on and on and on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so it sounds like you were kind of part of that scene, going to lots of shows. So let's fast forward. How did you remember meeting Paul?
I met Paul at CBGB's. It was very brief. A mutual friend of ours at the time introduced me to him. Mm-hmm. And it was whatever at the time. Okay. And then I met him again This time was at a Halloween party, and that's when things, yeah.
It was
And
a
ever since then, we were like inseparable. We drove each other crazy, but we couldn't get enough of each other.
what
Like
year?
BFF. Yeah.
What year do you think that was?
This was back in 2006, late 2006. Yep. And it's so
Cool.
funny because he reformed the band in 2006, and I
Right.
met him late 2006. Like I think he like reformed it was like, I don't know, during the summertime. Yeah, because when he played Tompkins, I believe it was like August.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
And
met
then
him. I met him in September, and then I met him again on Halloween.
okay.
Yeah,
And that was like a party at like the Lower East
a
Side
house
somewhere?
party.
Okay.
A house party. I believe it was someone who was managing the band, quote unquote, managing the band.
Managing
Like,
Reagan.
yeah, right. You know what I mean? Like booking
Yeah.
the shows, getting
Helping
the
out.
word out,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
things in that nature.
Okay, cool. And so then let me ask you that were you because you do a lot of music, you play music. Were you also in bands doing music at that time too? Or
When I met Paul,
yeah,
no,
no.
no, Paul was the one who actually encouraged me to do music. Like, I would always tell him like, yeah, I'm interested in, making music. Like I would show him my like lousy lyrics
Mm.
and I would sing in front of him, and he was just fascinated. Like he was fascinated that I was a music lover. Like I love
Okay.
all sorts of music, not just punk rock. And he was impressed with my, singing skills or whatever. He would always say, like, you have that American Idol voice.
That's cool.
I don't know if that's embarrassing to say, but he would always say that.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, obviously, there's not, in the hardcore punk world, the singing's pretty rough, right?
Pretty
It's
rough.
more,
It's a
yeah,
lot of screaming. It's like, "Rrr," you know.
oh yeah,
And he got to hear someone who actually sang, and and he loved it. He absolutely loved it. And he was the one who was just like, no, you're going to sing with me. I'm going to play alongside of you.
awesome,
It just
awesome.
happened that way. He had a vision for me. you know
Okay,
um you know Poe was kind of like a mentor. Like he see when I gave him the idea that, like, yeah, I am interested in music, but at the same time, I am not confident. Like, I don't have the confidence that you have. You
mm.
know what I mean? So he was the one who kept pushing, you know, like,
Motivating, inspiring you to
yeah,
get,
inspiring me. So he was a mentor.
yeah,
Although he was, like my boyfriend or whatever you want to call it, like my partner. But by the end of
mhm.
the day, he was a mentor. Like he taught me a lot. Like a
Yeah,
lot, a lot. Because when I met him, I was like very young, very naive. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I'm grateful for that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which I wanted to ask about. So, like, that's one thing I noticed. That felt like was interesting in like the revival of the band. And you made a very great like clip out there on Instagram. I got to watch as well, or maybe YouTube. That part of one of the big things that Paul wanted to do that was um, Reagan Youth. One, they start off with what I loved about them is there's so much humor in the band, which is that's how I saw it. That's kind of where I'm interested in kind of like what your take was on, it, especially when that humor gets like misinterpreted. Where some bands will come right out and be like, Nazi punks fuck off, like it's like very interpreted, but they do this imagery of a classic of pop singles, and it's Ku Klux Klan guys, and it's Reagan Youth, and obviously you
It's
can
very
do like
detailed.
yeah, it's like it's very ironic, it's very funny, very clever,
Yeah. You have to understand, David Surgeon was very intelligent,
yeah,
way ahead of his time. And I don't think people put this in perspective, like how they were so young when it
Right.
came up with this whole thing. Like they were like in their teens.
I think I read that Paul's physics teacher or something would help out bringing amps or something to shows, and I read that somewhere. I swear, I think so.
No, no, it's true. You're talking
Okay,
about Jack De Palma. Yes.
okay,
I
okay,
talk to him every now and then.
okay. Cool. See, and so it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're very young, and but the
He was
lyrics.
the so-called roadie. He would
Okay,
drive the band to like their gigs
yeah,
in the craziest way
yeah,
ever, really. Like
yeah.
that, like they'll be late for a gig and he's like, I don't know, like driving like a maniac behind the wheel
In New York City,
in New
probably.
York fucking City,
Yeah.
right?
Ugh. I'd never drive in that city. I've seen
And
it
being that he
before.
was a physics teacher, like he knew where to turn and how, because like Paul would always say, like, yo, I'd be behind, like in the back seat, like terrified. Because like the way he's driving so crazy, like,
um,
but he knew he was a maestro. Is that the word? He
yeah.
was like, yeah.
Basically the point, but it emphasizes that they were very young, like you said, and so the imagery and lyrics were very ironic, funny, and I think when
Mhm.
you get it, it almost nailed the points harder sometimes because, yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. And it's
Um,
unfortunate that some people still don't get it till this day.
they still don't get it, like,
No, you would
again.
think.
Yeah, I was gonna say on the Instagram thing too, and which also is just like sad. Is just there's just so much hate out there too. That's why one of my favorite songs is "I Hate Hate," which makes very good points to it. Another pop single collection, I think, right? But
That was
uh,
Paul's favorite song to play live.
was it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool,
He'd
cool.
always say that. Like, that's my favorite song to play
Yeah.
live. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and that's why I really liked it. I thought that, like, I guess you do have to be kind of clever to get it, at least a little bit to get,
Hmm.
otherwise if you don't get it, you're like, I heard about like, yeah, there was like a skinhead one time that showed up to a Reagan Youth show, and it's like that's the furthest opposite world you'd want to, and I should emphasize a racist skinhead, right? But
Yeah. Oh my God. This is
yeah,
a funny story.
yeah,
Tibby was just over my place like the other day. She was telling me that one time they played Chicago and a
hmm,
bunch of like boneheads showed up,
yeah,
assuming that Reagan Youth was,
yeah,
you know, and they found out like the hard way, like, no, we're not that. And they started calling them names. And both Tibby and Paul like totally ignore them the entire time.
yeah,
It was just like whatever. And they were just and it's funny because you mentioned that they were like super stoned. So like so it was just like a blur of
yeah.
like
This
them.
is happening.
Yeah. It's so fucking funny.
Just to be like a fly on the
I
wall,
was like, yeah,
like,
that sounds like a Paul thing to do. Like people just be screaming at him and he's just like,
yeah,
whatever, I'm gonna be on the phone now.
yeah, yeah. I
Sometimes
mean,
you
just
just have to do that. Just don't engage with fucking idiots.
yeah, and that's where I was like,
It'll save your mental health.
Exactly. That's the main thing too. It's like you either get it or you don't, and
Yeah.
I think they probably don't. They end up realizing they're at the wrong place pretty quick. But you know,
Yeah.
um, very, very, very funny
I mean,
and
the fact
unfortunate.
they purchase tickets.
Hmm.
They fucking purchase like tickets to go see them play. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Like,
Thinking
what do
like,
you?
oh yeah, they're right wing. You're like, yeah, they're racist. Well,
Yeah, that's what I was
complete
thinking. Like
opposite.
to be in that like friend group of those boneheads. Like, hey man, these guys they love Reagan. They're Reagan Youth. They have this song called "New." Let's go to this show. Like,
Can you imagine
no.
the conversations? Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's disturbing. I know I'm
Right.
laughing, but at the same time, it's just like,
It's
ugh.
sad. It is sad,
It's
and then also
so
like you'll see
fucking
like the
sad.
the 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 hate that you get out there when they don't get it, and I mean it can go any direction too. That's why again that song I hate hate's really great.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah. Um, and gosh, I was just about to say, and that's what I liked about it. So because of that irony and stuff too, like when I, ended up getting into Reagan Youth was one of the first bands that kind of really fucked me up, if you will. Like I was, I got into the, I mean, first it was like Nirvana to like Pistols, like kind of the stuff, but then Reagan Youth, that irony and imagery was so funny, and it also happened to correlate with like my age to where, the song Jesus Was a Communist that I wanted to really talk about because there's not much lyrics to it besides
It's
Jesus
very
was a
simple.
communist and was a pacifist. And
Right.
guess what? When you read into that, it's pretty true, right? He was like love thy neighbor, all these things, especially um, you know, that Christian right, if you will, which kind of what Reagan Youth's always been kind of like, ironic and kind of I don't want to say against, but pretty much right. Yes, it was very clever, and it helped shape me because then I'd be able to actually talk to my family members. It's like, well, you preach about Jesus, all this stuff, but you're not open to wanting to help out with social issues. Like you don't want to get taxed a little bit more, so people don't go hung like all these things. And oh God, it was great like therapy for me with Reagan Youth because of that. Just that one little song, right, with just those
Wow.
little lyrics, and it just really opened my eyes as a young kid to like yes, you can use the stuff they even praise and love, like to help infiltrate. And that's what I like better about Reagan Youth too, was that I want to say it's like it was very clever. So it was like I don't want to say infiltrating, but instead of like being very just direct, like combative, it was ironic, right? Which yeah, and so I guess you picked that up right away when you first heard Reagan Youth. Yeah, you loved it. And I guess going along, did you guys? How often would you guys see people misinterpret that? I guess does it happen often?
Many times, because you have to understand, Paul wasn't like computer savvy.
Hmm.
So I was always there to help him, with the social media stuff. So I'd be like pointing him out. Like I'd be pointing out stuff like, yo, Paul, like, check this out. This guy did not understand the lyrics to Jesus Was a Communist. Like, for example, I wish I could remember. I remember it. Oh man, God, I wish I could remember. Someone said something so bizarre about that song. It didn't quite make sense. I wish I can remember. My
Mm,
brain is not as sharp as it used to be. Um, yeah.
okay.
Sorry.
No. I like it because it's very. I think yeah, it's like simple and it's funny too because it's like yeah,
It's
exactly.
definitely funny.
You know.
But people are so quick to see that's the thing with that song. There are some people that think that Jesus wasn't real.
Yeah.
So they think so they're so quick to say, "Oh, Jesus wasn't real anyway, so this song is like stupid." Meanwhile, it was an actual person, you know.
Right. Well,
Um,
and even if it is or isn't, it is what's the word I'm trying to say? Through the Bible, through the books, and where it is now, might as well be right. And
right.
what's written and what we know about it, it's
He
um,
was just a simple man
mhm,
who
yeah,
like came up with some like simple stuff to follow. He was
yeah,
anti like capitalism,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, love thy neighbor.
hmm,
Um, he hung out with like the weirdos, the outcasts.
prostitutes,
Yeah, yeah, man.
and was a pacifist too. Was which um what I really liked Reagan U, and I think Crass does it too, but they really helped convey to what got my thoughts,
You-
and I kind of even have it here with Anarchy and Peace. It's always been
right.
very I've been
There,
very into that. Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off. There is an article where Dave Insurgent himself was who he actually explained what that song is about. I wish I could. I don't know if I can read it while I'm on Zoom. Uh,
Yeah.
I remember screenshotting it for you. Okay, it's from a zine. I don't know if you're familiar with Maximum Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so they asked him. I think they were there to see them play at CBGB's, and like after the show, they
Okay.
asked like a couple of questions about their set, and they ask him, like, before one of your songs today, you referred to Jesus as the first communist. Can you elaborate on that? And Dave said, he was saying basically, fuck the system. He preached communal living and sharing wealth. I think all that shit about God was just from acid trips. I'm not a communist in any way, but I think it should be like in Amsterdam. I'm sorry, Amsterdam.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous that all of this money should be going to the military when people can't even afford medicine here.
Yeah, no, but I think it's cool though because it nails it on the head, right? Which and that's
Well,
what I like
yeah,
about it too, because it's very true. Whether you think he's real or not, one, there's just the irony in it, and I think especially at the time, like you just said there, we're going off, always needing. There's always money for war, right? But oh,
absolutely.
we got to cut the food stamp. We got to doge this program here because
Yeah, we have to cut the funds.
yeah, there's too much money going
You know,
around.
from
We need to send Israel more money, guys.
yeah. Oh,
Like,
well, don't get me started on that one.
yeah, which is just it's just very true. And then yeah, exactly. When you and that's what's so great about fucking Reagan Youth was you get to use what they use, right? They're always behind the Bible, right? You know, and you're like, well, wait a minute, let's use that.
Yeah,
And yeah, we'll
as a
go into
reference.
yeah, and
Yeah,
that's what I did with my family, you know, and didn't get the you know
is your family very conservative?
parts of my family are right, and so
Okay.
and I, no, not to shut it up, but I always say, we'd go to Thanksgiving dinner with my grandmothers, and we, would do grace, and we would thank George Bush at grace, like
What?
that kind of stuff, and I would just like get out of it. And luckily, I had my other side, my grandpa, who was more of um, a naturalist, yeah, kind of in a way too. So like I got like good sides from everything,
Right.
which is interesting too, because I think a lot of it, deep down, almost everyone does want to just like love, but some are brainless, mindless pigs going to degenerated, kind of that like little line there to be funny
Right.
about it.
Right.
Not true, but which also I like too. Is like, yeah, that song degenerate. Like there was just so much about it that did it. So I'm sorry, and I can start segueing too. But my point
No,
was,
it's totally fine.
I really love that shit about Reagan Youth kind of getting going up, and then the ending of that first or that first half, I guess, was crazy, right? Where you know, it was like a serial killer with Dave's girlfriend or whatever. Like I read it, and it's pretty heavy. It's very all like his last little moments are very
It
heavy.
happened all at once.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
he got heavy into the drugs, right?
Hmm.
And on that same week, that fateful week, his
Hmm.
mom died
Yeah.
by accident as his dad was driving um the car into the garage.
Hmm.
He accidentally hit her.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Crazy.
And then there's the sex worker girlfriend,
Right. That was found
and they found her
days later.
body chopped up in Joe Rifkin's
Yeah. That was it.
car.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
And
destroyed.
I don't know, I'm assuming he just he couldn't take it. And also
Yeah.
he also, another thing too, you have to understand, he had a lobotomy.
No shit.
Yeah. I don't think that's mentioned as like,
Not talked about much.
it's not talked about much, but
Yeah.
there's also that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he could. I feel like that he just couldn't take it anymore.
Right, right. And it's all, and so it made sense that like, yeah, there, I mean, and I remember like being, into punk rock around 2004, 2005, like, Reagan Youth had this very, they had already ended. There was no chance I thought of them coming back. It was like they were a huge chapter staple and crazy ending. And it did seem like there was like, I want to say like darkness to it. And so that was part of why Paul wanted to reamp
Well,
Reagan Youth, right?
that was by accident.
Really? Okay.
Kind of, sort of. There was some some punk rock dude walking around saying that he sung for Reagan Youth and he was Dave Insurgent. And it's a long story. It's a freaky nonsensical story. I don't really want to get into it, but because it's
Okay.
kind of all over the place.
Mm.
But yeah, it was just some guy walking around telling everyone that he was the singer of the band, and you know, Paul picked up on that and was just like, "No,
No.
you're no." And someone brought up the idea like, "Hey, you want to book a show here?" It was what was it? Like Woodstock of New York hardcore or some shit like that. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
Paul was just like, "Okay, I'll just play this one off."
Yeah.
All right. Played it. And then there were talks, people talking shit, saying like, "Oh, you were never in the band. Who the
Wait.
fuck who do you think you are? Blah 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 blah." And Paul was just like, "You know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna play some more shows." And he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna get the guys from the 80s, you know, Al Pike and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Johnny Aztec, from the second album, and Al Pike is from the first album. Yeah, so he got those guys to play live shows with him, and he just,
Yeah.
continued on.
Awesome.
And I mean, yeah, he got like a crazy amount of fucking, you know, people playing him in the band with him, because it was not only Al and Javier. He had to like eventually get rid of them. Long story, but
Mhm.
drama, always drama. And
Yeah.
okay, so yeah, he got those two, and then before you know it, there's this dude and this guy and this guy and this guy. But who was always there? Tibby.
Oh, Tibby. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so she stuck around for nearly like 10 years, for a decade,
Yeah.
stuck around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, luckily I just actually did an episode with her with Leftover Crack Song,
Oh, that's
to the
awesome.
X from Gash and Reagan Youth and Leftover
Cool.
Crack. Yeah. Okay, and that's one thing you notice too when you go online, you can see just like past
The
members with
list
just
keeps going and going and going. Because
yeah,
Paul didn't
dude.
want to, because Paul, you know what, by the end of the day, Paul did this because of a labor of love. He just loved playing. He
Yeah,
loved playing music. I mean, yeah, some of the guys that he hired, there were a lot of like back and forth, a lot of like arguments.
mhm. And that's
Yeah,
one thing
a lot of
I
crashing, clashing. That's the word, clashing.
and let me ask you this, and this is where I want to go into the other songs. Like, so, it did feel like, yeah, Paul probably maybe part of that. Paul is very much, he does that DIY ethic. Like, he wants to do things how he wants to do it, and if
Yeah, he
it's his
kept it
band,
punk rock.
yeah, yeah, and if it's his band, so if it's not how he hears it or envisions it, like that's unfortunate, but
It is
he'll try other
unfortunate.
people, right? Like, because he's really wanting to make, and I think you
You
hear it in the
need things
songs.
to work, and
Mhm.
like sometimes, like I remember watching one of these. There was an interview that he did, where he explained that he would get these people to like join the band, and he's like, you know what, you don't need to know everything about like politics, like you really don't. All you need is like, all I want from you is to hate. That's all I want. Do you hate? Yes. They would say yes in the beginning, and then
Mhm.
their true colors would come out when they tour,
Yeah,
and the hate comes out.
yeah,
Because when you're on tour, it's kind of like you're living with someone,
yeah,
sort of, kind of, and you can't hide your true personality. Like, you can't hide your true identity
right.
after a while. Like, so shit happens on tour.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, and that's what so I wanted to ask you that too. Did you notice being, with him for so long, did he have a very big difference, like in his stage persona versus like his real life, I guess, how did that like change too? Like especially like, having
You
yeah.
get what you get. Paul
Mm,
was real on
yeah.
and off stage. He wasn't performative. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, when he's with me, yeah, he's like a he was like a big kid, really. Like he loved watching cartoons. Like, his favorite show was The Simpsons, so we watched The Simpsons like all the time. Like religiously.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, Paul was like, he majored in history and English.
Okay.
So he was the type who would like we would have our friends over and it's a history lesson. He's going to tell you everything that went down in China.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like he was just like a walking encyclopedia almost, you
Yeah.
know. I wouldn't say Wikipedia.
No, encyclopedia. Yeah. Which I love that. And that's
So
kind of
he was that type of dude. Um, he loved playing just strumming his guitar, just jamming out.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was his.
And that's one thing I like too, because I mean, there's bands that I of course, love. They're great performers, but it is like they come in, they're in costumes, even they're kind of an
Oh no,
act, and it's
no, no!
very
You
performative.
get
But
no.
Reagan Youth, you'd always pick up on this very strong, like raw honesty, and like yeah, kind of like you said, like a lot of times it was like teachable, right? And that's why I like the first part, it's irony. Like that's where I even got like my anarchy and peace, like this just kind of like natural, like yes, you can have, no actual like, gods or managers, whatever, but also still have peace. So at least that's the idea you can want. Which that's what I really, really liked in I want to say it's the last volume to where the one I want to get into where you sing on it, he has spoken word into it. Um,
That was my idea.
Really? Okay.
Yes, it was.
This,
Yeah,
this is where I feel like boom, it hits more raw and honest. And he's a teacher anyway, I guess, or sorry, not teacher,
because
but
that's how because that's how
mhm,
he was. Like
yeah,
I was like, Paul, like, why don't you do spoken word? He did not like the idea. He did actually, no, let me take that back. He did not understand the idea. He didn't get it. And I remember like giving him examples. I kept saying like Jim Morrison, an American
yeah,
prayer, you
yeah,
know, and
mhm,
he was just not getting it until he actually like went in the booth. Actually, he was not in the booth. He did this at hospice at fucking Calvary hospital. Like our buddy came in with like all the equipment and had him just wing it. Actually, no, he wrote down what to say and just read it off his little
okay,
iPad. Yeah.
mhm,
So I'm so glad he did it.
mhm,
Yeah, so when he recorded it and played it back and so he like we played the song and then we played the spoken word right
right
after.
after
That's when he
it
like it
hit.
clicked.
Yeah,
It was like, oh, like yeah.
yeah. So that really,
Yeah.
really hits well too. So let me dive into that. The song I wanted to talk about that was like really impactful too.
And I mean, and another thing too, I'm
Yeah,
sorry to cut you off.
yeah,
I feel like we needed to hear that familiar voice, being that I mean, I was never in the band. Like I wasn't in the band in the 80s, and I know how some fans are. Like I just
mhm,
know like people are just gonna shun me immediately.
yeah.
As soon as they see what they're working with, they're like, who the fuck are you? You're not
Yeah. You're
Dave.
not Dave. Come on.
That or I'm just like it could
Yeah.
be it could
That's why
also be ugly, like, hey, you're black and you're a woman, like who the fuck you think you
you can't
are?
see new Aryans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was just like, nah, Paul needs to be heard. Like we need that familiar voice on that record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Awesome. Awesome. And you guys did not Angel Dust, Dust Angel, right?
yes,
Yeah.
that's Angel. Yes.
Yeah. So and that's kind of a smart. But so then when you made this one, because it is your lyrics, it is your voice on the new improved Mother Earth, right?
That is something. Okay, this is a funny story.
Okay.
That song was around for a very, very, very long time. As a matter of fact, a lot of these songs that you hear on this new record has been around for a long time. Some of these songs could have been sung by Dave Insurgent himself.
Okay.
But they never got around to recording anything. It was just laying around collecting dust.
Got it.
Right. That song was a song I sung while when we were in Dust Angel.
Okay.
Yeah. So and so the lyrics are by me and Paul.
So you guys wrote both the lyrics together?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Was it lyrics first, music later?
No, it was music first and then lyrics later. That's how we normally would do it. It was always Paul strumming the guitar. He comes up with the song title,
Okay.
and we work around it.
Oh, so he'd like the
work
title
around it.
too first, and then he would go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or sometimes it'd be like, you know, I come up with like a concept. He comes up with the song title, and then we come up with the lyrics.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we, that's how we worked.
And this was originally was going to be a Dust Angel song, didn't make it, and so it went on to the Reagan Youth. Or did you make that conscious, like it feels more like a Reagan Youth song versus?
It's more of a Reagan Youth song.
Yeah.
This song in particular, like, okay, this album is a concept album.
Yeah.
So it's telling a story. We opened with Hapless Misfits. That's kind of like with Dave rebelling. Really saying fuck you to his parents. And like that's him like discovering punk rock and finding his chosen family. Hapless misfits throwing a shit fit. Wait, that's the chorus, but
yeah, but it starts off with
it starts off with that,
yeah.
And then there's the
spoken word and
Mother
then
Earth. That is him. How should I put it? Because I kind of want the music to speak for itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that song is more like Dave discovering anarchy.
Okay. The natural order.
The natural law.
The natural. Some people call it clean anarchism and stuff like this. There's all these
fuck this man-made man shit.
Which
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it says that in the spoken word afterwards. So I'm gonna do the very awkward part here. I'll read the lyrics back to you, and then I'll maybe ask you some questions as we go through. Okay. So it's the second song, but I believe third track, right? Because it goes hapless, spoken word. I can't remember if the spoken word's in the track, so maybe it's track 2. But anyhow,
it's supposed to be it was supposed to be spoken word too, but being that it's like it's streaming, it's like the track list is different. But yeah, go on. I'm sorry.
Okay, it makes sense then. So yeah, starts right off. New improved Mother Earth. The seed has failed and growth won't spurt. Where greedy men do endless search, taking things of new real worth.
Yes.
Money, right? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah. Kind of like the interpretation, and this is what I like about this song of Reagan Youth. It is kind of to the point, right? Like we're raping Mother Earth, taking its right and making money.
Interrupting me, I'm sorry. It's kind of like how we're looking at.
Oh, you got real quiet.
I'm sorry.
Oh, now you're good. You got real quiet for a second.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. It's kind of like with what's happening now. Well, what people are witnessing right now in real time. with Israel, like, you know, bombing the Palestinians. And then when you find out the root of this issue, it's okay, it's resources,
Mm-hmm.
land, and this greed, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Very, very on the point there. All right, I'll continue. So then, suffering unnatural birth when
Right.
men pollute its gentle turf.
Yeah, it's polluting it, right?
Yeah, this stuff's not supposed to be like this, right?
It could also be about what's happening in Congo, you know, with the minerals and,
Yeah.
you know, using those resources to make products that we're using right now as we speak, like iPhones.
Yeah, but basically fucking not only like the climate, the natural nature, the animals that live there, the people exploiting the people and kids who probably are making these fucking things for us. And then we use it, and who knows what kind of, cancers and radiation chemicals and stuff that like it's not good. I mean, even just the phone itself by staring at social media all day is not mentally healthy, right? So like
No,
all
it's
this
not.
stuff,
But we
it,
do it anyway. I do it
yeah,
all the time.
yeah,
And
and it's rough.
I feel terrible. It's horrible. But it's by design, right?
It's what it feels. It feels like, yeah, every part of it is a negative outcome, even to the very
It's
end
like
users.
we can't take a break from harming.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
hmm
Like, it's so funny because just recently someone sent me a message on Instagram and said, "Oh, I forgot exactly what he said, but it was something about AI." It was something that I reposted that happened to be AI,
yeah.
right?
Okay.
And I went off telling him like, "Yo, I like I think I reposted it because I wanted because I got really excited and I was like, oh my god, I have to share this with someone who would like
Yeah.
appreciate this silly shit that I just discovered." And and I told him that. I believe I told him that, and then he went off and said, "Oh, you're a poser."
Mm.
And I told, and I remember getting replying to that, and I was just like, I mean, aren't you complicit in like some wrongdoing? Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, who are you to tell me I'm a poser? Meanwhile, you're using Meta. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. On his iPhone, especially back to you.
yeah, like
Exactly.
get come
Yeah.
on,
And
man.
again, the
Common
energy.
sense.
And then this is where we go into like the even with the end users to it, like the energy that we put into it. It's like that's such a wasted energy. We're arguing and bickering with each other when, like
Yeah, meanwhile,
both.
we're doing some kind of harm. I,
Hmm.
I think I think it's harm.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah. And I mean, I even think like even the bloodsuckers that make all this money and profit from it, they don't ever look happy or healthy. Like
No.
they seem
No.
miserable to be honest. Like you look at Elon Musk and stuff, he seems stressed out, thinking he gonna get killed. Like there's all this stuff. Like that's not how I'd want to live at all, right?
I don't
Like
want to be that.
no,
Like, imagine having like billions of dollars and that's
yeah,
how you know what I mean? You that's how you look. And you complain online like how this person is wrong and this
yeah,
is wrong and it's just complaint after complaint.
yeah,
Meanwhile, you
exactly.
have like a just a lot of money in the bank.
You could take a percentage of your money, and everyone on Earth could eat.
Yes.
And then of course there's argument, well, that wouldn't happen, blah blah, whatever. But it's like that's just that kind of power is crazy.
That
Well,
mindset is it's bizarre to me.
yeah. And then they go into this weird, fearful thing, and then it's like, yeah, exactly. They start, I don't know. Anyhow,
Yeah.
that was just the point of this, to where it
We
was.
could
So
go
where,
on and on about how horrible these people really
yeah.
are.
Which is good too, because this is what's cool about Reagan Youth songs. It was very thought provoking stuff. To where it's even a song like this, to where it's very kind of more direct and makes you think about what we're doing with the earth and stuff. To then even the older ones.
I'm glad that you recognize that cuz when this when this album came about and like I would just sit down and like reflect on it. I'm just like, wow, I wonder what these fans are gonna think, because like these songs are so not volume one is not volume two. This is about a man. Like this is Paul's idea. This is Paul's vision.
Yeah.
And not only it's based on Dave, but it's also like him showing appreciation for bands that he was influenced by. Like when you listen to songs like L'amour et entre mes jambes, like that's very Dead Boys. You get what I'm saying? Like 77 punk kind of, with like the dirty lyrics. I don't know if you bother listening to that one. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, he was having fun with that. Like he was having fun with
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which and I think I got that quote, from him too. Again, it goes into like anarchism and peace, but there was somewhere, maybe, and correct me, maybe I have it off, but it was something along the lines to where he said, whether it was him or Dave, but they basically, like, a Reagan Youth kind of point was, one of the best forms of the rebellion is by having fun, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. I think people forget that part. Like, yeah, you need to have fun. You
Yeah.
need to have fun. And I mean, it's hard to,
Yeah.
especially when you look at the state of the world. It's like, how do you have fun when you know so much is going on?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, fun is a form of rebellion because they don't want you to have fun. They don't want you to have a big smile on your face.
No, they want you to be
Like,
calling each other posers and fighting and being like, right? That's what they want
yeah,
you to be
like, do we
doing.
have to be angry 24/7
Yeah. Which
while
again,
we're
that's
fighting back?
and I'll go into this more too, but
No,
that's what's
you
so
have to have fun. Like, I don't know if you've seen the images that's, in coming from Portland.
yeah.
Like they're having fun.
The
And those ICE agents look angry as fuck.
well, because they're having to arrest people in like teddy bear costumes, like what the fuck is this? And you don't look good having
It's such an embarrassment. Like, dude, that's your job, to arrest people with frog costumes.
yeah. Right, right. And again, it's just like, couldn't there be more resources and stuff so this and that's goes in the point. I don't want to get too current day political, but it's like
Right,
all
right,
these
right.
cuts that we had to do and
You see
stuff.
how Reagan Youth resonates with like today's issues?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's one
Yeah.
good one that was on there. It was like, yeah, I mean, yes. Anyhow, and that's what they're super because they're mind provoking. Very thoughtful. And it stays
Hmm.
very very true. Like you said a minute ago. Paul
Paul
said,
would always say, this is something, I'm sorry. Paul would always say, like, it's a blessing that his song still is like relevant today, but at the same time it's a curse. It's like, why we're still talking about this? Like, why this
right.
is still a huge problem.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's why I think one reason why it stays so great is that like you said, you don't have to so much be like political on like one side or another. You just have to believe in peace and with do you dislike hate, right? Don't have hate, and then
No.
that will go where it is,
Yeah.
and having fun where you can tell exactly they're having fun out
Yeah,
there and
you definitely have to have fun. Come on. These
yeah.
fascists don't want us to have fun.
Yeah. Okay, so let me finish the bit. So then it goes, yeah, I mentioned sure. Taint her roots until she hurts a new, improved Mother Earth. The food she grows that men has cursed when oil spills on the sand and surf.
Yeah.
That's very clear too, right? Exactly. We're
That's
eliminating food
self-explanatory.
resources. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and
Oh
then
my God. When you read that back, it's just like, oh my God, me and Paul made, like, we wrote that.
and it's very it's very very cool. I'll talk more about it here. So then it goes, soon she'll die as heavens burst. What's to become of Mother Earth? And it leaves it kind of like, as a listener, you kind of feel it come to you, and then the spoken word will come in. I'll read that in a minute too, because I feel like that's much of the song. Uh,
Hmm.
but what's also really cool is you're the one singing it. Very beautiful voice, by the way,
Oh,
and
thank you.
it hits. very different. It's still like you can tell very Reagan Youth too, which is it's kind of cool. It's like if you were watching like Reagan Youth in the movie, like it's very it has this much lighter, like inspiring album. This concept album, right? Very, very inspiring and motivating. It makes you want to like as soon as I hear that, I'm like, you know what? I got to really focus on what's really important in my life, you know. Um, and then the way you guys take turns, because then you sing that, and then he comes in, and I'll read his words too. And this is the part that, because then the music goes away, and then how joyous is it not to have to bring home any work? Who wants to work for an employer when they could work for themselves? Um, what would be sustainable as if we all grew our own garden and cooked our own meals and took care of our own. And that's what I said. That kind of reflects into like, guilty of it. I'm working in a corporation to try and just put food on my table, but there's always work, right? Like even when I get home, I have to worry about work the next day when all that shit's not important, family, your friends. I'm rambling. Tell
No,
me,
no, I
how
love
did that
this.
convey? So do you remember how did you write the spoken word portion
No,
with?
Paul, it was Paul. I
Okay.
wanted him. I was just like, Paul, come on, write
Okay.
it.
And
I
so
encouraged him.
was the
And he
idea
was
for that
so
spoken word?
grateful. He was so thankful. Like, oh God, I'm gonna get emotional. I don't want to get emo because I
Ugh.
remember when he was in that hospital bed and he looked at me. He was just like, the spoken word makes sense. Oh man, like, thank you.
Yeah. No, it really, really did. Fucking love
Yeah,
it.
and he couldn't stop listening to it after a while.
So let me ask you that. Was
Like he
that
he listened to that album like every other day.
yeah, it's awesome, awesome.
Yeah, he was really proud of it. I remember, I know there's like discussions online. I believe it's on Reddit.
Okay.
And you know how Reddit is. I call it Reddit punks.
Hmm.
But
Probably
yeah, I
bots,
think there's
but
a
yeah.
discussion where someone said, "Oh, I don't think something about how like they don't think that Reagan Youth wanted to put that album out or something like that." Meanwhile, like dude, Paul like listened to this freaking album for days and days. Like after he would record the like each song,
Hmm.
played it over and over and over. You know what I mean? Like he
Yeah,
knew what he was putting out.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was not a just me and myself idea. Like this was teamwork.
Right.
Mostly his vision.
Yeah.
D guy himself. You know what I mean? So
And
yeah, I'm
that's
sorry, I have
where
to put that out there.
I kind of wanted to ask about that. So that was kind of the feel I got, especially with the later work that you know, especially with how that first ending was with like Dave and stuff was like kind of dark, whatever. And then this final album is very inspirational, much more direct. I think
Yeah, it's direct.
there's some less humorous into it, like versus like degenerated things like that. But it's very inspiring, and I want to say beautiful and how it ends, right? So when you have these volumes of Reagan Youth, that like really kind of makes like it's almost like a concept band if you like look at the whole history and the way this one comes in. Maybe it's just the age I'm at too. Maybe I got older. I don't know if I was younger. If
You
I
know
did,
what?
but yeah,
Yeah, that's another thing too. I feel like, oh God, this may sound, I don't know. Okay,
hmm
I'm gonna be real. I feel like people who think critically
hmm
gets it. You get what I'm saying? Like, cause the way you described it just now, like how it's, volume one, volume two, like volume three, like you connected is kind of like a
yeah,
concept. Yeah, I think that's what Paul was going for, like the trilogy, kind
yeah,
of. Yeah, that's why he named it volume three.
yeah. Okay,
Like he
I
wants
hope.
to end the chapter
Mhm.
You know, he'll always say like, yeah, I want this to be the final Reagan Youth album, and I want to change the ending. Like, I don't want people to just think of like some tragic, like some tragedy.
Mhm.
Like, can we end it like, you know,
Yeah, yeah, and
on
that's
a
what's
happy
really
note,
good
kinda,
too.
sorta, not really.
Well, that's what's really good about it too, is there's this like part that and I dislike about it, but people feel their own whatever. But when you get a lot of like anarcho punks and stuff, I think there's a lot of like this like other like clicky or I don't know
It
what to
gets very
call it,
clicky.
but it gets this like where nihilism was cool, especially like in 2005, right? And that's
Who
why
started
people
that
were
movement? I would love to know.
and I don't know, and it kind of got there. I think it's maybe like just young, like high school, dudes or whatever that like because it portrayed this weird thing for like because you have Sid Vicious to Darby Crash to and Reagan Youth would get thrown in there, and Nirvana like to where this like suicide nihilistic thing was cool, and then that kind of tripped into the anarchy part, like this chaos type, like Mr. Self Destruct shit. And I
Oh,
was
no.
always like, that's why this final bit comes in,
They
and it's kind
people
of like
people I feel like people always for I don't they don't how should I put it? Like, they don't know the true definition of anarchism. Like, it's chaotic. And honestly, I blame corporate media, because when you would tune in, you hear, "Oh yeah, this is anarchy!" Like you see like fire and people just going nuts.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
how they would define it. I'm just like, no, that's not what
It's
anarchy.
almost all orchestrated by governments and people that aren't actually involved in that shit,
And I
right?
feel like, and I like we were saying with like kids and what back in 2005,
That's what that was my era, kind of, and that's what I remember, and I
they
hated it
fell
because I
into
was
that trap.
yeah, yeah,
They fell into that trap, and then they just like went along with it and never bothered to like even, like done their research. I mean,
yeah.
doing research could be, just saying that could be vague.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because some people do research and you're like, where did you get that information from?
Right, right,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? But yeah, they never bothered to like actually open a book or like go online or something, or talk to someone who actually is a part of that, like that
yeah.
community. You get what I'm saying?
Oh,
They didn't do
100%,
that.
yeah. And that's where I
So
would
they
like
just
kind
went
of
along with this whole concept of like, just chaos, destruction. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's unfortunate, because I'm just like, wow, anarchism is actually a really beautiful concept. Is I mean, I think
No, it makes sense to me too. It's like a
it makes
natural
so much
order thing.
sense to me. I was just like, yeah, can we like live like that? What happened to like, mutual aid, things like
Mhm.
that, direct action and all those nice things.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
And that's why I wanna go into
Can
the
we
other
like
song.
practice that more? Can we be more communal? We don't have to like each other. We really don't.
Yeah,
I
but we
mean,
don't have to kill each other
yeah,
either.
we don't kill each other either. Don't call me funny names.
Mhm.
But can we commune and can we do things,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
help one another? What's wrong with that? I don't see
No,
nothing wrong with that.
and it's where you feel like, I think when you look into it, it's very much we're manipulated into fighting with each other,
Yeah,
and yeah, we gotta have this law and order. Well, guess what? The law and order a lot of times forces your kids to have to go off and die. Like I want to go into the other song you did too
oh,
on
I'm
your
sorry.
own with the Ukraine Russia thing too, because I know that those
Why am I
people.
saying sorry? You're the one who's talking.
I know. And you should apologize. I'm so ADHD, dude. I'm so sorry.
No,
I'm
no,
I'm
no.
really sorry. Um,
It's fine. I enjoyed this conversation.
yeah, but it's exactly how I look at it. It's like if those actual like families in Ukraine and Russia, they wouldn't fight each other. It's the
No,
governments that want to all do that stuff, and that's what sucks about it. And exactly, and that's why when like in 2005, people were like, yeah, Johnny from Degenerated is really cool. It's like no, they're making fun of that. You don't want to be a mindless brainwashed pig. You know,
No,
like,
you don't want to be that person.
it's you're missing the fucking irony in the greatest one of the greatest songs on that one too. Anyhow, that's why I love this song, and it comes in, and this album comes in more to the point, and very inspirational, and it really changes it up, and it kind of makes what feels like a clear, and it's like you said, critically, and I think that's one thing you have to do to get into Reagan Youth. A lot of people,
we
yeah.
lacking that in this nation. Critical thinking. Seriously. Like what's wrong with sitting back and like actually thinking and asking, some hard, cold like questions.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, totally. It feels like we're very just like into the meme, and we're
The memes and not thinking things
people are
thoroughly.
so angry right now. Like
We're
I'm
so
both,
angry,
yeah,
calling each other posers.
just on their keyboards or phones, foaming at the mouth, mad at everyone, not having fun in it.
Tell me about it.
Okay, one last
It's
question.
exhausting.
Yeah, one last question I had on that. So when he wrote the spoken word, was it intentional for this song, or did he have spoken words and like he chose
It's
where to place
intentional
them?
for each song.
It was okay.
Yeah, I'm the one who told him that. I was just like, no, it has to be about this song.
Okay,
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
And then last little question too, because you kind of said it in there. So the song was originally like pretty much written and done like years before it went on this one. Do you remember when you guys decided we want this song in there again? It kind of got it back. And how?
So yeah, when we were working on the track list, I think that's when the idea came about. I was just like, you know what? Let's include that song on there. It just makes sense. It just makes sense.
Yeah, for that and
You
that how
know,
it is too. Yeah. Mm.
we wanted to show like, hey, let's show Dave has his thoughtful side, right? So
Yeah.
that's how it came about. Really, it wasn't much. It wasn't much. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Last couple questions I hear. Thank you again so much for doing this. One of the greatest bands ever. And I kind of asked you about like when people misinterpret things like this, but what about when you do see Reagan Youth in like strong mainstream culture? Like, have you seen the movie The Airheads with the Lone Rangers? They do the cover. What's the feels on that? And do you know, did Paul ever talk about that?
Paul talked about that a lot. There's
Yeah.
actually an article out there for everyone to read where
Okay.
he explained how that movie I'm sorry, how that song became a thing
Mhm.
in that movie.
Mhm. Was he a fan of the
Okay.
movie?
Wait, what?
Was he a fan of the movie?
Uh Not really.
Okay.
No. He thought it was silly.
It is the silly, stupid comedy.
It's silly. It was just like, okay, whatever. He really wanted heavy metal shuffle to be in that movie, but it was too late.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something about you know, um, how movies cost a lot,
Yeah.
so it was gonna be like millions of dollars to have that song be removed and have like, yeah.
Okay.
Oh God, it's a long story, but I know it's all started with the band D-Generation.
Okay.
They're the ones that told Fox, I think it was Fox, oh my God, what's the name of that company? Century Fox.
Yeah.
On
Century
the
Fox.
movie.
You got
Yeah.
it.
They're the ones. Oh God, I don't want to get the story wrong. I really don't.
If there's an
But
article, I can always just leave it to it then where we can read it. But
no, no, yeah, I want you to read it. I want you to read it.
really, okay.
Yeah, and he was so upset. And another thing too was really funny is like he kept bumping into these the guys from the band, and they were like, "Yo, we're gonna make you a lot of money." Meanwhile, they're over here lying about how they wrote the song. And I think lawyers had to get involved. It was a whole thing.
Man.
Paul had to like prove, like he had to come in and it was just like, no, I wrote the song. I'm the guy.
Yeah.
You know, and this was in the 90s where he was not active in the music world.
Yeah.
So that was another factor. Like, I think that's what they ran with, that whole like, yeah, we wrote the song. Like, you're not gonna find the real guy who wrote the song. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah. I'll send you the
Mhm.
link. It's up there. It was a lot of back and forth, and it finally got settled.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Okay. I was always curious on that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
'Cause
it's a story.
you,
It's a
you
long
see,
story. It's not something that you just like, oh, this happened, that happened, that's it. No.
okay. Yeah, because you'll see, sometimes like, yeah, Reagan Youth stuff thrown here, because they're such an influential band, to where it makes sense that it's going to happen. So very,
Hmm.
yeah, okay, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Um,
How joyous is it not to have to bring home any work? Who wants to work for an employer when they could work for themselves? What would be sustainable is if we all grew our own garden and cooked our own meals and took care of our own.